What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Skylanders video. Alright everyone, today we're going to be doing C5. I know I recently just put up a C4 video, and about 3 days after I started farming C5. Very excited about it. Before we get into the actual runs, I want to show you the Skylanders I'm using and their current stats and runes. So first up is Flashwing. Now you guys know I always praise Flashwing and Stealth Elf. And the funny thing about these two is they can actually two-man C5. If they have good enough gear and high enough attack on Stealth Elf and high enough HP on Flashwing, they can literally two-man C5 no problem. I'm going to work on this myself and try to get a video out this week of me doing it. Now I know Sayros has a video out with him doing it. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I do want to try to achieve that myself because it is really awesome to be able to two-man C5 with Flashwing and Stealth Elf because they are just that good and that broken. That's why I always stress to you guys how good they actually are. So I'm going to work on that this week. For now, I'm just happy to be farming C5 and I was able to 3-star it and I was just super excited and I wanted to make this video as fast as possible. So Flashwing hasn't changed since the last video. I'm just going to click on his gear so you can see what I have on him. Now the one thing I want to change immediately is this crit rate. Now when this game was released, everybody just thought that the crit heals worked exactly the same as they did in the first version of this game. But that is not the case. They actually changed it to boosting. So now when you crit, you're not actually just healing like it was before. If you got a crit animation, you would automatically heal. And if it was attacker, you would automatically get an extra turn. It doesn't work that way anymore. Now it works off a boost rate, which I explained in my last video. So I'll link it down below because I don't want to get into that too much here. But I will be changing this crit rate to either resistance or crit damage. I haven't decided yet. A lot of people are telling me to go crit damage, but we'll see what happens. Then I got effect accuracy. And I'm trying to get as much boost rate and evasion rate in substats as I can. And again, we got crit rate, accuracy, defense, crit damage, accuracy, resistance, defense, HP. As far as Flashwing goes, you just want to get as much overall support stats as possible, just like any support. If you're going to try to two-man C5, I would say just stack as much HP and defense as you can, because she just needs to be able to take as much damage as possible. I think I just said he before. He or she. You guys know how I am. I'm pretty sure it's a girl, but she needs to be able to take as much damage as possible. So you want to get as much support stats as you can, and that is going to get you two-manning C5. Now, I don't really see the point in two-manning C5, to be honest with you, because it's just going to take you longer. But I just want to do it myself just to be able to achieve it. But I don't actually think I would sit there and farm C5 with a two-man team. But if you're not farming C5 and you're in C4, and you have Stealth Elf and Flashwing built, you can actually like power up their runes and be able to clear C5 with a two-man team. That is an awesome thing to do. So I do want to do it myself just to do it, to show you guys that it can be done. Next up, we got Stealth Elf. Again, fantastic damage dealer. She is just so strong. She protects herself, so self-efficient. I haven't really changed much gear on her neither. With her, I'm just trying to pack as much damage, crit rate, and accuracy as possible. So we got effect accuracy. Here we got just more attack. And just keep in mind, guys, in this game, there is no percentages. There's no main HP percentage or defense percentage or attack percentage. So it's either flat, attack, HP, or defense. I'm working on a rune video for later this week. I'm going to go over all the gear in depth. So that is coming soon. Stay tuned for that. So we got the body, crit rate, crit damage, attack. The resistance we don't really care about. And then we got crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, and HP. And I'm just trying to synergize the attack stats as much as I can. Next up, we got Road Brawler. Now, I actually changed out Boomer for Road Brawler. I think I could have ran C5 with Boomer, and I'm going to do it in the future. But the thing was, I pulled Road Brawler twice in one 5-pull. I got one from campaign, and then last night I pulled another one. So it just made sense for me to use Road Brawler. I haven't spent any money, guys. I promise you I'm 100% free to play, except for $1.99. And I haven't used the gold yet, but I know if I don't tell you, Twitch chat is going to rip me apart. Now, it doesn't have to be Road Brawler. It can literally be anything that you end up super boosting or any heroic that you have that has a poison, knockdown, diminish. For me, it happened to be Road Brawler. She doesn't need to be max super boosted. I was using her with a double super boost, and she was working just as good. And I switched Stink Bomb's leader skill for Road Brawlers, and I took Boomer out of the team. Because I was able to run C5, I just wasn't able to 3-star it with Boomer on the team. Now, if I would have maxed out Boomer, maxed awakened him, leveled up all his gear to 12, I probably could have got it done. But I was able to just put Road Brawler on the team as a 4-star, and I was able to 3-star C5 no problem. And that is the main thing you're trying to do, is get the 3-star as quick as possible. This way you can auto the dungeon, because until you get that 3-star, you cannot auto it. Same thing with two-manning Cyclops. You have to get the 3-star first to be able to 20 auto it over and over again. So let me just click on the gear here. She's still not 6-starred, but she does exactly what I need her to do. And again, we're just packing as much accuracy, crit rate, crit damage, and attack as possible. She is all about the damage for us on the team and landing her debuffs. And then we got Stink Bomb. Again, I know some of you guys aren't going to have Stink Bomb. Many replacements for him. I went over this in my C4 video. I mean, Wham Shell, Crypt King. There is just an endless list of Skylanders you can replace Stink Bomb with. Let's just click his gear real quick. So again, I'm doing the same thing I did with Roll Brawler. I'm just stacking as much accuracy and attack as I can with a little bit of extra tanky stats if I can get them on top of the damage stats and the accuracy. So that's the current team we're running for C5. It works great. I haven't had any issues yet. We are farming it no problem. Once I 6-starred Stink Bomb, it is 100% successful. I've done about 200 to 300 runs now, and I have not failed. And now we are able to farm our 5-star gear. So let's get into some runs here. Now my current team is a full debuff, poison, diminish, knockdown team. Like I always tell you guys, when you're building your teams, your Cyclops team, your scroll farming team, your merge tower team synergy is so important, guys. You can have the best Skylanders individual, but if you put them on the wrong team without team synergy, it's not going to work as good as you would think it would. And sometimes you'll fail and you'll ask yourself, why are you failing? It's because your team synergy is just not there. The reason this team works so well, and it's not because I'm using heroics or using Stink Bomb and Roll Brawler, because I can literally use them and have them not super boosted, and this team would work just as good. And it's because I have Diminished stack, I have a Poison stack, I have 2 knockdowns, and then I have Flashwing that literally keeps us healed the entire time. We take minimal damage, like you'll see in each stage here. Like, the enemy just doesn't do enough damage to be able to kill us before the boss stage. And once we get to the boss stage, we are doing so much damage at that point. Or I shouldn't say damage, we're doing so many debuffs at that point, along with the knockdowns, that the boss is never going to be able to finish us off. Now, I've seen similar teams to this on YouTube. I think a lot of people actually replace Stealth Elf for Boom Bloom. I'm going to do that in the future. For right now, I'm going to leave the team the way it is, because I don't want to use any legendaries. I just want to use heroics and rares, even though I'm 100% free to play, and I could throw Boom Bloom in there if I pulled her. I just feel like everybody's kind of doing that, so I don't want to do that yet. I know that's probably the best thing for me to do in the future, because I know with Boom Bloom on this team instead of Stealth Elf, we're probably going to have a way faster clear time. We're going to have a ton more debuffs, and they're going to stay up a lot longer because Boom Bloom actually copies them. And Boom Bloom is so good for a Diminish Poison team. More for a Poison team, not so much Diminish. But when I first started playing this game, a lot of people were saying that you couldn't stack Diminishes. And I don't think they were just saying it. You honestly couldn't stack a lot of Diminishes. You can only stack 2. And I don't know if it was like a glitch or a bug, but they have fixed it since then. And you can actually stack as many Diminishes as you want. Same with Poison. Same with any debuff, defense breaks. Like, you can stack as many as you want in this game. So let's say you have a 10%, a 20% and 30% defense break. You can stack them all on the boss, and it's going to do that extra damage, as in, 50%, because you have 10%. 20% and 30%, so that's actually 60%. I don't even know if there's a 30% defense break. I'm just trying to give you an example. So whatever debuff it is, it can stack. Same thing with poisons. And Boom Bloom actually blows up the poisons. That's what makes her so strong, for your Cyclops runs or any dungeon run for that matter. Boom Bloom is just going to make your team so much stronger because she has so much versatility in her kit, and she fits so well into these debuff teams. So honestly, I do want to pull a Boom Bloom, and every time I do a summon, I hope that it is Boom Bloom. Like the other day, I got a legendary, and it ended up being Chop Chop, and I was so upset. I was like, why couldn't it just be Boom Bloom? But honestly, even if I pulled her, I wouldn't use her right away until I clear C6, because I really want to make it a point to clear C6 without legendaries, because we're always telling you guys that legendaries are so hard to build, they're so hard to come by, to get their resources, to get them super boosted. So I don't want to showcase a team, from farming C3 all the way up to C6 that has a legendary unit in it. Now, I know this team has 2 heroics, but the thing here is you get Roll Brawler for free from the campaign. And I was using Roll Brawler with only 2 super boosts, and this team was working exactly the same. The only difference now is she's max super boosted and she's just doing more damage, which is making the run faster. But you don't need to have Stink Bomb or Roll Brawler Max super boosted. I promise you, even 1 or 2 super boosts, this team will work just as good. And honestly, you really don't even need Stink Bomb. Now, I know Stink Bomb is OP, and I love him, but you don't need him. So let's say you don't have Stink Bomb, but you have Boom Bloom. That is a perfect replacement for this team. So you can pull out Stink Bomb, put in Boom Bloom, and I honestly think the team would work better if you had Boom Bloom instead of Stink Bomb. Now, I know in a perfect world, you would want to replace Stealth Elf for Boom Bloom, but if you don't have Stink Bomb, you can put Boom Bloom and then keep Stealth Elf until you pull Stink Bomb in the future, and I think the team would work just as good. It's just really about team synergy. So as long as you're synergizing those poisons, those diminishes, and those knockdowns, and that would be called like a poison diminished team, or let's say you were building a knockdown team, so you want to make sure you have electric shock because you want to make sure you're draining the endurance on the enemy so that the knockdowns stick. Because even on my current team, I have 2 knockdowns, but I don't have the electric shock. So sometimes it's hard for me to get those knockdowns to stick because the enemy is ending his turn with more endurance than I want him to. So I'm not able to make those knockdowns stick. So honestly, in this team, I don't really care about the knockdowns. Like you can see, we're not really landing any. This team is all about the debuffs, the diminishes. The defense break is nice because he puts a defense buff. We don't necessarily need the defense break, but it is good to have, and Flashwing does bring it to the table. So it just gives us extra boosted damage. Nothing wrong with that. Good to have. I always tell you guys, Flashwing and Stealth Elf are so OP. And honestly now, I think if I wanted to, I could max out Stealth Elf and Flashwing's gear and honestly 2-man this, which I'm going to try to do it this week. I have seen a video of people doing it, so I want to do it myself just to see if it's efficient or if you can actually clear C5 in less than 20 runs with a 2-man team as in Stealth Elf and Flashwing. Because honestly, if you're going to 3-star it and then go down to a 2-man team, I don't really see the point in doing that because it's just going to make your runs longer. But if you can actually clear C5 with just a 2-man team with a 3-star, then it's probably worth it, especially for like free-to-play players, so they can just heavily invest in their Flashwing and Stealth Elf like they're going to do anyways. And then they're going to be able to clear C5 with just 2 units and not have to worry about Roll Brawler, Stink Bomb, or Boom Bloom. They can literally farm C5 with 2 rare units. So I'm going to do some testing on this, see what gear it takes, see the minimum stats it's going to take. I actually want to start an Asian account today on stream or later tonight on stream so I can start building different units on that account, because the thing with being a free-to-play player and a content creator is really hard for me to build other units to test them out and play with them. So at least if I have 2 accounts, I can build opposite Skylanders on my Asian account, and then I can test them out and play around with things. So maybe on the Asian account, what we'll try to do is 2-man Cyclops from 1 to 5 and see if we can't get Stealth Elf and Flashwing to clear 1F to 5F. I think that would be a fun little challenge for us. I'll give it more thought and I'll see where it goes this week. So stay tuned for that. I have a lot of fun stuff planned. I'm going to bring back The Grind is Real. It's going to be a month series instead of a weekly series. So that will be sometime next week. And like you're seeing, guys, just like C4, the team works exactly the same, except instead of Boomer putting up the bomb, putting up an extra poison and an extra diminish, and we have that extra knockdown. Like you saw there, Roll Brawler landed her knockdown. Doesn't land often, but when it does, it really helps out because it stops us from taking a lot of damage. But honestly, at this point where our team is and how our gear is, we're really not taking much damage because Flashwing is like healing almost every turn. So we're not really worried about the damage at this point. We're just trying to clear it as fast as possible. Other than that, the team is perfect. This is like your standard poison diminished team. And the heal block is really good here because he does have a skill where he hits you and heals. So a lot of people don't realize that, and sometimes you don't realize you're not clearing it because he keeps healing and you don't have the heal block to stop him from healing. Now, once your team gets stronger, it's not going to matter as much, but it can stop you from getting the 3-stars because it can make 20 turns turn into 22 turns because he's healing, you know, every time he's doing that big hit. The main debuffs you want in clearing C5 for the first time if you're using a poison or a debuff team: heal block, diminish, poison, knockdown, and a healer. That is what's working for me. I want to probably take out Stink Bomb in the future, maybe for like a rattlesnake, if I can find the resources to build him. Just to show you guys that you don't need Stink Bomb, you can use a rare or premium unit and it'll still work just as good as long as you have that team synergy in place. I promise you guys the team is going to work exactly the same. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you guys so much for the continued support here on YouTube. I cannot believe how fast we are growing. I am so thankful to you guys. If you want to be a part of the Discord giveaway, that is linked down below with my Twitch. As always, I love each and every single one of you. I will see you in the next one. Spaceballs out. Peace.